Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero, and we are back again talking about yet more reverse detractors coming to us from the Rippaverse Goalposts Twitter account. He also let me know that it seems like the Drunken Peasants over here believe that they're somehow saying I'm triggered. Also, he's using the word Rippaverse fans and only talks about one singular fan, which is me. It seems like he always has something to say about me every time I make a video. They try to add my content to their secondary channel without any context added on, just ripping my video and then adding it to their secondary channel. So they feel like, yes, they're going to try to, get some clout off my small channel that isn't even monetized. And I thank you all for being here, watching the videos every time I post one. But before we get into that, we're just going to give an update on Rippaverse Isom number 2. As of the recording of this video, it's currently sitting at $1.789 million with 15,483 purchasers, with 10,442 cover A's purchased, 10,913 cover B's purchased, 3,525 cover C's purchased, which, by the way, that's the foiled and embossed cover by Shane Davis that only has 5,000 copies being made. And of course cover D, which is the mass print cover, at 740 with 1,494 total books donated. So awesome that the Air July Rippaverse community is donating a whole bunch of books. But it appears that in this video they think that I am somehow triggered by two guests that they have. I guess their names are Hannibal and Monty. So they spend about, about 15 minutes covering my video, saying that I am triggered. No, I can't possibly be triggered by people that stole the book, admitted to pirating the book, and don't even know the definition of woke as it pertains to entertainment currently. So, it seems like the dude on the bottom was over here, which you can't really see, it's behind me, right? This is a dude that claims to be over 400 pounds. You want to claim here that I am triggered by your two weirdo guests, who one's wearing a mask so it doesn't really show his face. One of them claims that Air July is a bitch, claims that he can take on Air July, which will probably never be the case because he's fat too. And they also they're the ones that get triggered by the fact that Air July has a weight requirement to debate him, which the only people that get triggered by that are people that are actually fat. So these are people that gain no subscribers ever and are somehow trying to claim that I'm triggered by their weird asses when my channel gains growth every single day, right? Here's my monthly views for June. Here's my monthly subscribers for June. And again, I thank everyone who has hit the subscribe button and does watch the videos, as I tend to cover all of this stuff and some pop culture stuff, and I hope to do some more comic reviews, some video game reviews, and video game news. But let's get back to the Rippaverse Goalposts account, because I didn't want to spend too much time on the drunken weirdos who claim that I'm somehow triggered by a bunch of guys who are so broke that they can't even buy a $35 comic. They say that it doesn't matter. They say, oh, this is trash, and they heard it's trash, yet they read it and say it's woke, but seem to not really have read it. So we're back to this goalpost of he works for Glenn Beck and the Blaze. He is the mainstream. Conservatives and libertarians always want the optics of being outsiders. They are the establishment. Is any other entity? No. Libertarians don't care about the establishment. They want the federal government to essentially go away. So they can't possibly be a part of the establishment when they don't even want the establishment to exist. So we have this guy who says Air July lies. Very easily disproven lies. Factually, comic sales have been great, with Marvel crushing the competition both comic sales and box office, even though Disney's last 7 or 8 films have lost money, with Guardians being the exception. MCU movies always make money. That's not true. When you're ignorant, poorly self-educated like Eric, you lie to look cool to teenage boys, which a lot of the people that follow Eric are not teenage boys. You do not put any claims out that that could be the case. And essentially, no. We've already seen that the sales were for the months of May and June were lower than how many were all under the amount of books that Isom number 2 has sold, even though it's currently selling less than number 1, which is typically how it goes when it comes from number 1 to number 2. Usually you see a drop off, and Eric July is expecting of that. He's always expected that, and people try to claim that Rippaverse is failing because it's making less money. Number 2 is making less money, yet they never seem to make these subtle arguments with Marvel and DC. Moving on to the next person. If N-words already started whitewashing characters, which they're not, before the show even came out, then it's indicated that this might be one of the greatest cartoons ever made. These are what we call fake fans who have never realized that Jimmy Olsen is in fact white. He's in fact a redhead who was race swapped in the Supergirl CW TV show, which I didn't know as a comic normie myself. I actually didn't know, but I never made the claim like this guy is with Eric July. So... and this is a video from 2 years ago, by the way. Woke White Man says this about a black man. It's crazy how the pipeline has created a brand of minority creators that openly push white supremacy. Yes, because a black person can be a white supreme, even though by definition that would mean he'd have to be white for him to be a white supreme. And again, we have yet another fake fan who doesn't understand that Jimmy Olsen was actually race swapped in this cartoon to be some wimpy black dude. Meanwhile, in comics forever, it would appear that he has been a white redhead. But these are the type of people that think that black people should accept the sloppy seconds of white characters rather than getting new characters. Similar to a Little Mermaid, Ariel, who was recently race swapped to black, and it's your typical pronouns in bio type people who look like absolute soy, who can't really grow facial hair like real men can. Moving on, this is him promoting my video. We also have Robbie here. Notice, just take a quick look at what the man is wearing, right? And now imagine looking at this person, and imagine him thinking that he could whip Eric July. I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to get your laughs out. Okay, let's go back here to where we are. So when this person says, when I catch this person, it's a person cracking a whip because he made this video 2 years ago, right? And again, this is the person you're looking at. Your typical, once again, let's X this out of here. Your typical pronouns in bio looking soy boy people who can't seem to grow facial hair because they have too much soy. Moving on to one of our favorites, Big Daddy. Using the term ripposexual, something that was coined by Chloe, the Seahole handler. Let's take a listen here.
Fucking Twitter feeds with it. Like, look at my Isom art! Isom is the greatest! Yeah, he's a...
Wow. So, essentially making fun of fans of the Rippaverse for enjoying themselves, drawing fan art for our fan art contest. That's where we are now. We're at the point where weirdos who claim that they've read Isom number 1 are making fun of actual fans who've like the IP and are willing to put their artwork out there because they like this comic.
Very, very homoerotic character. Anybody who's read the fucking comic, it's got strong homosexual...
It's clearly not you because there is no indication in any way, shape, or form that Isom is gay. Also, isn't it kind of phobic for you to be mad at some character being gay anyway? I thought that's what y'all all about. Y'all all about this diverse and inclusive world. Oh wait, it's because the creator of the comic doesn't share the same political views as you. I get it. It's the same old song and dance, essentially.
Sexual undertones to the whole fucking thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if it turns out that Isom is in fact a homosexual.
Yeah, so this Art Bell person has been in my comments as well, talking about, I think he was the one that was in my comments saying that Isom is not going to reach issue 10 or something.
That might be the hook to the whole thing. And the only reason he's a homosexual is that young Rippa will be able to use it as more shield for how terrible the whole thing is.
Again, you are once again giving your opinion.
When you start talking shit about it, it's like, oh, you just don't like gay people. You just don't like gay black people. But like I said, it's all...
Not once has Eric July ever used his skin color as a shield against any type of criticism. Not once has he ever played victim, unlike the weirdos on the left who always try to claim victimhood because of racism, because they're black. They always use this defense. Not once has Eric ever used that, and if you really think that that's something that Eric is going to do, you're fucking delusional.
All just projection, too, and it's just Eric just kind of playing gay peekaboo, you know, because he himself is a fucking faggot. Yeah!
For the purposes of this YouTube, I am responding to a video of someone using terrible words on the internet on YouTube that should not be used. Which, by the way, I guess you are phobic in your sense because you want to call other people this word, and you make fun of people who you think are gay, considering Eric July is married to a black woman, right? He's married to a biological woman. Yeah, totally gay, buddy. So, we have one of Eric July's typical detractors and Josh Friedmaster saying, yeah, right, keep filling your fanboys' heads with delusions of things that will never happen. Epic verse will flop. That's your opinion. This is in response to Jeremy saying we're in the beginning stages of independent media, films, comics, and games taking over completely. Rippaverse is losing steam. Yeah, it's totally losing steam with the amount of money it's making, right? It's literally making money as I record this video. It's losing so much steam. Meanwhile, there are more items that need to be included. I haven't even made my second purchases yet because I'm waiting for the short box to be added. I'm waiting for a bundle to be there so I can buy that and get cover D together, which I've already gotten my covers A, B, and C. The rest of Comicsgate is mostly dead. Mainstream games are still dominating. Yes, mainstream games are dominating for now, except for all the entire amount of broken messes that come out of mainstream games. Now, as far as Comicsgate being dead, as you claim, right? This is Ethan Van Sciver putting out Cyberfrog 3, making $314K in the first 24 hours of it releasing, right? This is the current campaign right here for Cyberfrog 3. As we speak, at 344,000 with 24 days left to go. You guys can check this out. You can see some of the artwork here for it. This is the main cover of the book. This was a 24-hour variant that I did claim. This is cover B. Looks like fantastic artwork. You can pick up action figures. You can pick up toys of both Cyberfrog and Salamandroid, right? Seems like a pretty good deal with this right here. If you want to get all the covers, you can do that. Anything added on later into the campaign, you will get by backing this tier, right? We have, what else do we have? We have Rainbow the Brew, another Ethan Van Sciver project, currently sitting at 483K with 4,000 backers. I've backed every book I'm about to show you. I've backed completely. So I've backed this book. We had Blade Devil from Raging Golden Eagle making 330K. He's currently working on the second book. It's going to be put out very, very soon. I'm looking forward to it. This was definitely one of my favorite books that I picked up in Comicsgate. We have Shisen Raikou from Billy Tucci. This is actually old material that he's repurposing together as an omnibus so that you could be caught up on Shi's history, a character that has been around for 25 years. Cyberfrog Dark Harvest at 193K, at almost 200K for, again, old material, and even a preview book of Cyberfrog 3. Right? We have Fiendish Chapter 2 by Irene, who is an artist who has done a poster for the Rippaverse. 200K, right? 6 figures, another 6-figure campaign. Shane Davis is Inglorious Rex 2. 225K, right? And I'm sure it's made more than that considering he has a website where he put his comic up as well. 225K, another 6-figure campaign. On this one, I got the subscription tier for this one myself, which I think is down here. This one, the all-in book subscription perk. I loved Inglorious Rex so much that I grabbed the all-in book subscription pack for this one. We have Core Draft of Reckoning, which is like a Conan style type of book. I backed this one. This one is by Andy Smith, who I believe made books like First Man, I believe. I want to say he came out with First Man. So this is another one. $81,000, still on in demand. We have Death, Death, Death by the great Joe Ball, currently sitting at $86K. This is a 300-page book that he is currently selling for a hardcover of $30, a manga edition for $18, a color version $45, right? You can see the color, the nice color artwork here. You can see some of the panels here in color, in black and white, and in manga edition. So you have the colored version of it, you have the black and white version, line art, and you even have the manga version of this book. I backed all 3 versions of this book. I got myself all 3 versions. I think it is... Where is it? Right here. This is what I backed. I got one of each version. Hunt the Littlest Umbrella, which is the 3rd book from that umbrella guy, sitting at $161K. It's made more money than the first 2 Littlest Umbrella books. I own both of them, and I backed the Monster Bundle, which gives me everything. Because I loved the artwork that was on the 2nd book and the 1st book, so I decided to back everything. Godlike by John Malin, $258,000. Also another one that I think I got the creators tier, which comes with everything. This one is, I got the creator signature tier, which I got a discount for signing up for the mailing list, which he is going to do a second chance campaign for this. So if you're interested in something like this, wait for that. Even Cash Grab, a book by Cecil, made almost $300,000. So if you want to sit here and say that Comicsgate is mostly dead, these are the big hitters right here. If you're looking for some very nice artwork, very good stories, these are the type of things. Like I said, Blade Devil is my favorite so far. From the ones that I have read, Blade Devil is my favorite. And I cannot wait to back Blade Devil 2. I'm patiently waiting for Blade Devil 2, and if you're a fan of Yellow Flash 2, he'll be launching a comic very, very soon. I'm hoping to get a one of everything from his comic as well. So, no, Josh Friedmaster, the rest of Comicsgate isn't mostly dead. There are independent people popping up all the time looking to put out material. All the time. Now we even have people like Organized Chaos, right? You love him, you hate him. He wants to remind people that these channels here, which are Critical Drinker, Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Cannell, and I don't know who the other one is here, right? He wants to remind people that these channels are non-political. That's why they're propping up QAnon movies. It's not a QAnon movie. It's a movie about the dangers of harming children. Things that have to do with harming children that we want to stand up against. But Bob is not one of those people, clearly. Right? Bob is clearly not one of those people. Fact is, these channels are a joke, and the more people understand that, the better online discourse will be. No. The more that people understand how much of a joke you are, the great joke of how Tyrone takes care of your kids, made by the great Eric July, who made fun of you in a debate, and your little posse got butthurt over it, is hilarious. And the more they understand how pathetic you all are, the better the online discourse will be. You even had Mr. Eric Debunks, who wants to say you should watch these 5 trafficking films over Sound of Freedom just because the main actor supposedly supports QAnon. That's why you shouldn't watch this film, because this person supports something I don't like. These are the same type of people who will tell you that if you don't like someone's politics, don't watch it, and then when you don't watch it, they get mad at you for it. When the people come out that are creating the stuff tell you that you're a piece of crap, you're a phobe, you're this, you're that, And then when you don't watch their film and it flops, they get mad at that. But this person simply couldn't just send out a message about this movie. He had to sit up here on his channel, which he's allowed to do, and tell you, you should go watch these other films instead. Right? Simply couldn't say, well, you can watch this film if you like. I may not like it. I may not like the person involved, but if you want to watch this film, you can do that. No, you just simply dismiss this film that has a powerful message in it because you don't like the actors in it, just as like everybody else does. So you're doing exactly like you doing exactly the same thing you complain about everybody else doing. But when you do it, it's okay, because you will essentially use the shield of I'm queer. You'll use that as a shield to block from your crappy opinions and your terrible life. That's what you will do. And you can see here from European lore, of all the independent comic book creators, Ethan Van Sciver deserves this the most. I've read most of his Cyberfall books, and all of his DC Comics work in his high quality art, some of the best of our day and age, especially his latest work. This is him showing, Ethan Van Sciver showing that he had 26 projects that have made him over $6.2 million. But the icing on the cake of all of this is Mr. Dick Masterson himself, talking about this. Alright? Talking about the movie too. Talking about this movie, Sound of Freedom movie, where he says this. If I can find it here. Where is it? Damn it. Oh. Lol. Something important. Lofty itch. This type of bad things. Like Taken and Finding Nemo, except pumped to the gills with Christ crap, conspiracy theories. You're not doing something good by watching it, you moron. This is in response to him saying that this movie should have been released for free. The people working on this movie shouldn't have made money on this movie for essentially putting out a message in a movie about these terrible things that are going on. He says, how generous of them to inflate their box office number instead of just releasing it for free online. Yeah, because people making movies shouldn't be allowed to make money. So it's a terrible take. It's an absolute terrible take. These morons actually believe some crappy AstroTurf child bad movie fantasy film is taking on Disney. Lol, pathetic. Yes, the movie that made more money than the Indiana Jones film that cost $313 million to make, where this movie only cost $15 million to make, destroyed it at the box office on release date. On release day of this movie, which was July 4th, made more money than a Disney film, is what people are saying. But you're too stupid and unintelligent and low IQ to understand this simple fact, because you tend to shill for these corporations like Disney. But I think I've said all I needed to say about this. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell for notifications. Again, I'm going to say this, do not indirect to anyone I have shown on this video. Leave all your comments in the comment section down below. Subscribe for more content, click the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you get notifications anytime I post a new video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.